Good morning, Mr. Musigidi.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to the commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Chair. Chair, before we start, I will just want to deal with some housekeeping issues with your permission, Chair, and the commissioners. First of all, Chair, the witness for today will be having its Captain Lawrence Itumeleng Makgotloe. And Chair, the witness today will first testify and hopefully with minimum interruptions. And then later on, the idea is that then the commissioners can ask questions, and also I can pose some questions where necessary, Chairperson. But of course, Chair, you can ask clarity-seeking questions as and when we go through his statement, Chair. Chair, you would recall that, and the commissioners, that Captain Makgotloe is a ballistic expert that was mentioned previously by previous witnesses, and he will be coming here to testify on his handling of a crime scene that occurred on the 17th of April 2024. That is the murder scene of one Mr. Amanswar, and he will explain to the commission how that happened, and also the report there too. And that report will really form the subject matter of today's proceedings, Chair. Chair, I think it's an opportune time for the witness to be sworn in.
Thank you, Mr. Musigidi. Good morning, Captain.
Morning, commissioners.
Will you swear or will you affirm?
I'll swear, commissioners.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you, Captain. Yes, Mr. Musigidi.
Yes, good morning again, Captain.
Morning, thanks.
Yes, Captain, first of all, I would like to extend, and I think the Chair and the Commissioners also extend their gratitude to you for making yourself available at such a short notice. I think you came in a bit earlier than you had originally planned for. So thank you for making yourself available to assist the Commission on that score, Chair.
Oh, I'm very, very sorry to stop you mid-sentence, Mr. Musigidi, and if you must, I will request you to start right from the beginning. I just want to make sure that the witness has been warned and that practical arrangements have also been made for him not to mention any of the names of the police officers he interacted with regard to, that is, those involved with the investigations, not those from, for example, his office. There's no problem or issue there. But those from the investigating team, have arrangements been made for the witness not to mention those names?
That is correct, Chair and the Commissioners, and Captain promised as well to observe that sensitive issue and preserve the integrity of those witnesses, and where possible, Chair, as well, I will try and guide him in advance where a possible name is about to come. If I can just remind him to refer to that witness as either B or C, depending on the context, Chair.
Captain, do you confirm that this has indeed been done?
Yes, it was confirmed this morning, Commissioners.
I direct you not to divulge those names, so it's an order.
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you. You may continue, or you may start, Mr. Musigidi.
Thank you, Chair. I just finished thanking the Captain for making himself available. And Captain, before we begin, I just need to check with you there. You should be having two files. One file should be saying Captain Makgotloe on the sleeve. Can you confirm that?
Yes, I confirm that, Commissioners.
Yes, and then the second file then would say witness statements and annexures. There too, can you confirm that, Captain?
Yes, I confirm that.
For ease of reference, Captain, I would refer to the first file as file 1 and the one that we just referred to as file 2, so that when we jump between the files, we can follow with ease. Is that fine?
It's fine.
Thank you. Chair, just as a precursor, we have already heard from the evidence of ballistic experts who came here to explain to this commission how the ballistics work, the structures, the process involved in analyzing the exhibit. And we will not be dwelling with the Captain here at hand. We will try and confine, at least himself, to the events that led him to producing the ultimate report that is really the subject matter of why we are here today. So, Captain, we are now dealing with file 1. That is the file containing a statement. And, Captain, can we go to, that will be page 18 of that statement?
Yes, I'm in page 18, Commissioners.
Yes, thank you. Do you confirm the signature there on the top right to be yours?
I confirm, Commissioners.
Thank you. And you've seen the statement before and you confirm that it is your statement indeed?
That's correct.
Thank you then. Without wasting further time, Captain, let's start maybe explaining to the Commission your background into the police service. And I think we start there on paragraph 1, going down to 2 of your statement.
Should I go through this paragraph, Commissioner? Should I read the procedure?
You may read where you need to emphasize. You can do so, Captain.
Okay. I'm an adult male, a captain, and a senior forensic analyst in an automated ballistic identification system, ABIS subsection, under the ballistic section of the South African Police Service, SAPS, stationed at the Forensic Science Laboratory, FSL, in Pretoria, Silverton. The facts deposed to by me below are within my personal knowledge, unless otherwise stated or indicated by the context, and are to be the best of my belief, both true and correct.
Chair, we're going to move now to the topic that says historical background and your duties, Captain. Please take us through that.
My historical background and duties, Commissioners. I have been attached to the ballistic section since 2005 as a ballistic analyst to date. I have examined the excess of 3,500 cases. In addition to conducting ballistic analysis, I also testify as an expert witness on a regular basis in the courts of law in South Africa. I have attained the following qualification: National Diploma in Policing from the University of South Africa in 2013, and BTech degree in Forensic Investigation from University of South Africa in 2016. I have also attended various types of internal and external training programs, including the following: identification of ammunition, fired bullets and fired cartridge cases, the use of microscopic equipment, microscopic individualization of firearms, ammunition, fired bullets, fired cartridge cases, tools and tool marks, acquisition of fired cartridge cases and fired bullets, that fired bullets data on automated ballistic identification system, ABIS, physical matching, identification of firearms, the examination of firearm mechanism, the different manufacturing process of firearm and firearm components, the examination of homemade devices, technique associated with the recovering and restoration process of obliterated alphanumeric figures on medals, the reloading of ammunition and the manufacturing processes of ammunition, short-range determination, crime scene investigation and examination technique, documentation of examination results.
Captain, before you go to paragraph 6, when you refer, in fact, to 5.10, would that be what we have learned to be what they call action process?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you, Captain. You may proceed to paragraph 6 then.
Before you go to 6, can I just get clarity on paragraph 4? Captain, you say you've been attached to the ballistics section since 2005, but then the first qualification you mentioned is 8 years later in 2013. Did you not have qualifications between 2005 and 2013? Or were you a subs officer before and you had undergone some form of training which was not formal in the sense of a certificate being issued or awarded? Can you just deal with that gap between 2005 and 2013?
Yes, Commissioners. Commissioners, the ballistic section, in the ballistic section, previously when they employ you, they were not employing using a particular criteria of qualification. So when I arrived at the ballistic section, I was a constable. So at that stage, there were no relevant qualification that was needed. The qualification will assist you in the promotional processes.
So it was on the job training?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. Can we then pick it up from paragraph 6 on page 2?
I was promoted to the rank of captain and a senior forensic analyst in an IBIS subsection since 01 December 2024. Prior to my move to the IBIS subsection, I was an analyst in the ballistic analysis subsection.
So is it correct to understand you that prior to the 1st of December 2024, then you held the rank of
warrant officer? That's correct.
And then you subsequently were at least promoted?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you. Then we move to the topic where it speaks of events regarding the ballistic analysis relating to the Vereeniging and Bramley cases. And we deal firstly with the processing of the Vereeniging crime scene.
Thank you, Commissioners. On the 17th April 2024 at 7, I reported for standby duty with Warrant Officer Marsha. It is common practice in our department for ballistic analysts to be on standby duty in pairs on a weekly rotational basis. Being on standby duty simply means that the analyst on duty should be readily available to attend to incoming requests for ballistic analysis at the crime scene. The standby duty list is created by the commanders in the ballistic section, namely Captain Nkosi and Lieutenant Colonel Mangena. For easy communication and reporting, a WhatsApp group including the following individuals was created. All analysts on standby duty list: Captain Nkosi, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, Brigadier Mkhabela, and General Mlauzi. Shortly after reporting for duty on the 17th April 2024, I received a call on the standby phone from Warrant Officer Malan. I'm not sure which unit of SAPS Warrant Officer Malan is from. Warrant Officer Malan requested that we attend to a crime scene at Vereeniging where a person was shot and killed while inside his vehicle. The case number lodged for the crime scene is case 275 of 4/2024. It's a Vereeniging case. After receiving a call from Warrant Officer Malan, I contacted Warrant Officer Masha to inform him that we have a crime scene to attend to in Vereeniging. We then sent a notification on WhatsApp standby group that we will be proceeding to crime scene in Vereeniging. Warrant Officer Masha and I then proceeded to the Vereeniging crime scene. On arrival at the crime scene, I noted that it was cordoned off and there were a number of police officers. We were welcomed by Warrant Officer Malan, who then explained to Warrant Officer Masha and I what had occurred. Thereafter, we started processing the scene. This took a few hours. Warrant Officer Masha and myself, between Warrant Officer Masha and myself, we agreed that ballistic analysis of Vereeniging crime scene was going to be conducted by me. It is a common practice for standby duty ballistic analysts to allocate crime scenes attended evenly to distribute the workload fair. In this regard, I will be the one to complete the crime scene report for Vereeniging case. Warrant Officer Masha will then be allocated the subsequent crime scene and completed the related crime scene report. A total of 22 exhibits were identified at the Vereeniging crime scene, depicting in Annexure LIM1, namely 6 times AK-47 fired bullets, 10 times cartridge cases fired from 9mm pistol, 4 times bullets fired from another 9mm pistol, and 2 bullets core fired from an AK-47 assault rifle. From our observation and processing of the Vereeniging crime scene, we could tell that an AK-47 assault rifle had been used. However, there were no AK-47 cartridge cases at the scene.
Captain, can you just pause there and just explain where you say that you could tell that an AK-47 assault rifle had been used? What do you mean by that?
I mean, our preliminary investigation at the crime scene suggested that an AK-47 rifle was used because at the scene we found the bullet core, 6 bullet cores of AK-47, and 2 bullet cores of AK-47 and 6 AK-47 fired bullets. And I would expect to find the AK-47 cartridge cases because they should have been ejected at the scene, but there were no AK-47 cartridge cases at the scene.
Can you explain a scenario why under what circumstances would the cartridges not be found, where now there is at least prima facie evidence that an AK-47 was fired, but the cartridges would not be found? Can you give us the scenario?
It can be different scenarios, commissioners. One of the scenario could be that because AK-47 rifle has got a long barrel, it could be the shooter was inside the vehicle when a shot was fired and it ejected inside the vehicle. So it will leave the crime scene with the vehicle when the shooter leaves the crime scene.
Almost like a drive-by.
Yes, commissioners.
Thank you. You can continue at paragraph 15.
Perhaps because you joined the commission very late and long after the evidence had commenced, we have testimony from witnesses, the detectives. We have testimony that AK-47 cartridges were found at the Bramley scene, contained in a plastic bag? In a plastic bag. So the inference is that they must have been picked up, collected, and stuck into that plastic bag.
I accept to be one proposition, but I think it's also plausible when he says that when the projectiles, Chair, but I accept that ultimately they were found inside the bag in a vehicle at a different scene. Thank you, Chair.
Well, thank you, Mr. Musugiri.
Captain, you can proceed. We are at paragraph 15.
Thanks, Commissioners. While processing the scene, all the officers at the scene were advised by an officer who is unknown to me that information has been received that a group of people who were suspects of the shooting in Vereeniging have been arrested in Bramley. The case number lodged for the said arrest is case 149 of 4/2024 Bramley case. It was communicated that the suspect at the Bramley scene have been apprehended with the firearms, including an AK-47 assault rifle, and that one of the suspect was a police officer. After receiving the aforementioned information, we continue to process the Vereeniging scene until conclusion. While Warrant Officer Masha and I were finalizing the processing of the Vereeniging crime scene, we received a call from our commander, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena. Lieutenant Colonel Mangena informed us that there is a crime scene in Bramley and inquire whether we are going to attend the crime scene. We are going to attend the crime scene. Warrant Officer Masha indicated that we will not attend the Bramley crime scene as there was no shooting. Only an arrest and seizure of firearms were executed. Lieutenant Colonel Mangena accepted our reason for not attending the Bramley crime scene. We also informed him that we were already scheduled to travel to Piet Retief in Mpumalanga province to process another crime scene there. Warrant Officer Masha indicated that Warrant Officer Malani indicated that because firearms confiscated at the Bramley scene are alleged to be associated with the murder in Vereeniging, he would require a ballistic comparison of the fired cartridge cases against the firearms. Due to my knowledge of how ballistic case files are allocated in the ballistic section and the related backlog of work, I knew that the Bramley and Vereeniging exhibits were going to be analyzed separately and that the Bramley exhibit will likely not to be processed as quickly as the Vereeniging case, as there was no ballistic analyst in attendance at the Bramley. I then advised Warrant Officer Malan that he submit a letter requesting that the analysis of the exhibits for the two cases be meshed. On the 23rd April 2024, the forensic lab received an exhibit from Vereeniging case, which were delivered by Warrant Officer Sitole. The Bramley case exhibits were also delivered on the same day by Sergeant Mohali. Lab number 193-045 of 24 was generated in the Forensic Science Laboratory admin system, FSL system, for the Bramley case, and lab number 193-051 of 24 generated for the Vereeniging case. The receiving of exhibits for the Bramley and Vereeniging cases on the 23rd April 2024 were recorded as first entries in the FSL's admin system. The Vereeniging case was assigned to me on the 8th May 2024 on an FSL admin system, and I collected the case file on 9 May 2024. Contained in the case file was a letter prepared by Warrant Officer Malan, wherein a request was made that Vereeniging and Bramley exhibits be analyzed and compared against each other. As indicated earlier, the Vereeniging case file was assigned to me since I was the one to complete the crime scene report and conducted analysis based on my agreement with Warrant Officer Mash. In this regard, a second entry was recorded on FSL system, admin system on 25 April 2024 to register for Vereeniging crime scene. This entry was assigned to me on 20 May 2024. While the second entry for the crime scene was only assigned to me on the 20 May 2024. I had completed the crime scene report on 15 May 2024. It is worth mentioning that once a case is assigned to an analyst on FSL admin system, the assigned analyst is expected to complete the analysis within 14 days from the date the case was assigned. I began my ballistic analysis on the Vereeniging exhibits on 9 May 2024. The Bramley case was also assigned to me on FSL admin system on 20 May 2024, and I collected the case file on 24 May 2024. The Bramley case report marked herein as Annexure LIM2 had a total of 225 exhibits, namely 1 AK-47 assault rifle, 96 cartridges for AK-47 assault rifle, 1 CZ Brown 9mm pistol, 1 Sauer Parabellum 9mm pistol, 3 magazines for the Parabellum 9mm pistol, 1 Taurus Parabellum 9mm pistol, including 1 cartridge loaded with a pistol, 15 AK-47 assault rifle cartridge cases, 2 9mm Parabellum cartridge cases, 91 9mm Parabellum cartridges, and 13 cartridges for the CZ Browning 9mm short pistol. I conducted and completed my analysis on the Bramley exhibits on the 24 May 2024. This included the comparison of those exhibits with the Vereeniging exhibits. Upon completion of my analysis, I prepared and signed my Section 212 statement, also referred to as a report, and submitted it to Colonel Munakadi for review. I did not receive any query or feedback from Colonel Munakadi.
Captain, when we move to the next paragraph, please be sensitive of the issues that we mentioned. Refer to the named person there as witness B.
Thank you.
Just before you go to paragraph 30, did Colonel Munakadi in fact review your section 212 statement? Or did it just come back the way it was when you gave it to him?
Commissioners, when you send a case for review, you either going to receive a case back when there is a mistake on the case to rectify. If there is no mistake to rectify, the case goes further for completion and for archiving. So
let's clarify this. If you give it to Colonel Munakadi for review and he does not require you to correct anything, then it does not come back to you.
It doesn't come
goes
back
for archiving.
Yes, commissioners.
Which is what happened in this case.
Commissioners, you will get it when I go through the statement.
Okay.
But as it is, where it is now, looking at the date difference, I will assume that when 5 days has lapsed, depending on the backlog, because even Colonel Mlakadi doesn't review a case immediately when you bring it to her. You will put it in a box, and there is a sequence of cases. So basically, it's first in, first out. So I'll assume that either it is reviewed and passed the review, or either it's not reviewed.
And your assumption was based on that last sentence of paragraph 29, where you say, I did not receive any queries or feedback.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thanks.
In June 2024, I was contacted by witness B, the investigating officer on Vereeniging case, who had come to FSL to request the ballistic analysis report. Witness B was accompanied by 2 other officers. I then went to ask Colonel Molakadi about the report, informing her that the investigating officers for the Vereeniging case have come to collect the report. It was at that point that I became aware that Colonel Molakadi had not started reviewing the report since my submission on the 24 May 2024. I then advised Witness B and her team that the report is not complete, as it was still with Colonel Molakadi. Colonel Molakadi started reviewing the report while the investigating officers were at FSL. While Colonel Molakadi was conducting a review, I offered the investigating officer space in the office to sit while they waited for the report. Colonel Molakadi started reviewing the report. Colonel Molakadi started reviewing the report while the investigating officers were at the FSA. While Colonel Molakadi conducted the review, I offered the investigating officer space in my office to sit while they were waiting for the report. Colonel Molakadi highlighted amendments that I needed to make on the report. I then took the report and made my way to my office and informed Witness B and her team that there were amendments that I need to make before I could give them a report. I made the amendments on a specific pages, printed the pages where the amendments were made, and replaced the pages in the report with the amendment pages. I then took the report back to Molakadi and returned with the final version. I then gave the reviewed version of the report to Witness B. Thereafter, she and her team left. It is worth mentioning that when making changes in the report before issuing it to Witness B in June 2024, I did not print the entire report and have it commissioned with a new date. I only took the amendment pages, attached my initials, requested the person who commissioned the first report on 24 May 2024 to also initialize amended pages and replace the respective pages in the old report. This, Commissioners, was a common practice in the ballistic department, as it can be seen by Annexure LIM3. It is worth mentioning at this point that I have been accused of allegedly having informed the investigating officers that Vereeniging and Bramley cases were linked to other high-profile cases when they collected the ballistic report in June 2024. I would like to state categorically that I never made such a statement to the investigating officers. The only linkage I was aware of as at that date, at the date I gave the investigating officers the report, was the firearm confiscated during the arrest of the suspect in Bramley on the 17th April 2024, were the same ones used in the murder of the victim in Vereeniging. I was aware of this link between the Bramley and Vereeniging cases because I conducted the ballistic analysis on the exhibits for the 2 cases. Thus, I'm not certain whether the investigating officers misconstrued the linkages between those 2 cases to mean there were links with other cases besides those 2 cases. Furthermore, the images of the samples used during my ballistic analysis had not been acquired on IB's system at the date I gave the report to witness B in June 2024. As such, there were no way that I would have been able to know if there are any links between the Vereeniging and Bramley cases with any other cases, since such links can only be identified after images of the samples are acquired on IBIS. I have been made aware that the acquisition of the images relating to the Bramley case was only done on 6 September 2024 by Warrant Officer Modise. It should be noted that I was not a member of IBIS subsection during the time I conducted the ballistic analysis on the Vereeniging and Bramley exhibit. I only joined IBIS subsection on 1st December 2024. On the 12th, 2024, a third entry was recorded on FSL admin system relating to receipt of additional exhibits of the Vereeniging case, which were bullets retrieved from the deceased body. This entry was assigned to me on 11 October 2024. I completed the ballistic analysis of the exhibit's bullets and issued a Section 212 affidavit dated 14 October 2024. Queries raised on the ballistic report. On the 21st October 2024, I received an email from Colonel Motsepe, one of our commanders in the ballistic section, instructing me to attend to queries that Senior Prosecutor Ronald Gutier had sent to him regarding errors in the ballistic report she received from the investigating officers, which errors she requested to be rectified. The specific errors in the initial report is described below. Paragraph 10.2 of the report indicates that the cartridge cases mentioned in 3.4 were fired from the firearm mentioned in 4.1. The set 3.4 referred to in paragraph 10.2 relates to paragraph 3.4 of the report, which specifies two 7.62 millimeter fired bullet core, which I received as part of the examination in the Bramley case file. The 4.1 referred to and in paragraph 10.2 relate to paragraph 4.1 of the report, which specify one AK-47 rifle, which I received as part of the exhibit in the Bramley case file. Paragraph 4.9 of the report indicates that I received 15 AK-47 cartridge cases as part of the exhibit for the Bramley case. The error noted in the report is that paragraph 10.2 correctly mentioned cartridge cases, which were the cartridge cases referred to in paragraph 4.9 of the report. However, I erroneously referred to paragraph 3.4 relating to bullet core instead of paragraph 4.9 that relates to 15 AK-47 cartridge cases. Paragraph 10.2 intended providing that results of the examination between AK-47 and 15 AK-47 cases mentioned in the Bramley case file, which results positively indicated that the cartridge cases were fired from the AK-47 rifle. Senior Prosecutor Kutie's query was understandable in that the report, as it read, did not confirm whether AK-47 rifle confiscated in Bramley was used to fire the AK-47 cartridge cases. I rectified the error identified in the first report issued to the investigating officers regarding the 15 cartridge cases. Thereafter, I scanned and emailed the amendment report to Senior Public Prosecutor Kutie on 22nd October 2024. Similar to the first report, I replaced the pages in the old report with the amendment pages and did not change the date of commissioning of the report. Thus, the amendment report sent to Public Prosecutor Kutia on the 22 October 2024 is also dated 24 May 2024. On the 6th November 2024, Senior Public Prosecutor Kutia sent me an email requesting the Section 212 statement for the ballistic analysis conducted in respect of additional exhibits of the Vereeniging case, that is the bullet found on the body of the deceased. I sent the report to the Senior Public Prosecutor Kutia on the same day, the 6th November 2024. This email has been marked as an annexed LIM4. However, I noted an error on page 3 of my report dated 24 May 2024, sent to Public Prosecutor Kutia on 22 October 2024, wherein reference was made to Bramley case 140 of 4 2024 instead of 149 of 4 2024, which was a typographical error. I have marked this as Annex LIM5. I rectified the error and emailed the amendment page 3 of 8 to the Senior Public Prosecutor on 6 November 2024, notifying her of the typo. In the email, I requested her to replace the page in the initial report with the amendment 1. I have attached the amendment page as Annex LIM6. Interrogation by the investigating officers relating to the Bramley analysis conducted on the Vereeniging and Bramley cases.
Captain, just remember in this section to heed to the warning again of the names.
Yes, Commissioners, I don't know if you can give me a minute so that I can highlight that, so that when I come.
Let us rather take a very quick adjournment, and may I ask you, Mr. Musigiri, to take the witness's statement and just write witness B, wherever it is, witness B or witness whoever. If another of the investigators is mentioned, you'll indicate to us when you're ready. Let's adjourn.
Thank you, Commissioners.